Okay, third video regarding the Seeds 5-man series. Why do the teams have to pay a season entry fee? Why are we doing a season for the payouts? Why is it all based on a season? Good question. The biggest reason from my end of it, from my perspective, is that having a season basically allows me to control my costs. When I have my costs controlled, I know exactly what I can give you guys as far as prizes for your reward, what cash prizes I can give out. When I know exactly how many teams are going to be there, when I can get a very close approximation as to how many cases of paint I expect each team to shoot, it really helps me a lot with my cost control, and I can budget. And I can budget enough to where I can promise cash prizes. So from my end, that's why the single biggest thing is why we're doing a season entry and why we're doing a season payout. For the teams, to their perspective, to their advantages, why the season benefits you guys is that when you play a season, you're already playing 5-man. This is a 5-man format, so you're already playing 5-man. You're going to have a little bit more of a serious approach to this than a 3-man team. So I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, there's this regional tournament, this local tournament, and we're just going to throw a group of guys together and go play it, and we think we can win it. Well, if you look at everybody who's ever said that, really look and see how many guys have actually gone and won those events. I mean, there's been a few, but most of the time, if you're lucky, you maybe make the finals, but most of the time, it doesn't happen, because you don't have the practice time together, you don't have the gelling, you don't have your communication down. You're just basing your performance off of the raw talent of the group, not the actual ability to work as a team. So with a series that lasts, basically when you're paying for a season, you're competing for a season, you've got the ability to come out and play and learn. You're going to be playing against the same amount of teams, the same kinds of teams, and every one of those teams is going to have a little bit something different to them. So you're going to have to learn and pay attention, and I think that when you start looking at it from that perspective, you're going to grow as a team. You're going to grow as an individual player. You're going to start to say, wow, we play this team and they got a bunch of fast guys, so we got to come up with something to play against them. Some kind of game plan that for those fast guys, we got to take them out of the picture. And then you look at another team where you're like, man, they just got good shooters. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They got the lanes everywhere. We can't live. So maybe we have to change our game plan to try and compensate for that. It's forcing you to think. It's forcing you to look at your team and maximize your abilities and come up with new ideas and grow. I mean, it's forcing you to become a real paintball player. So, there's a lot of things that could benefit from just the fact that once you've paid and committed for a season, you're going to be able to take that amount of teams and go out and implement a lot of information and a lot of experiences, so that at the end of the season, you've got a pretty good idea of how to play each one of those teams. And that 4th or 5th event, depending on how many teams sign up for the 5-mans, will be a very hard-fought event. I think that you're going to see the best competition of the year at that last event. And if I'm wrong, I don't think I will be, but I really believe that'll be the case. I think it'll be probably the best event of the year, because it'll be the hardest fought, because everybody will have a pretty good idea of how everybody in that division plays against each other. So a lot of advantages for the players committing to a season. It's going to allow you to grow. It's going to allow you to improve. Developing consistency is a big fundamental key for being successful, not just in paintball, but really in life. If you can be consistent and show, performances and develop like a rhythm, it really helps in achieving that next level, or that next tier of getting better. When you're up and you're down and you're up and you're down, it's really tough, and it's hard to keep things together and keep things focused when you're like that. So when you're playing a tournament and you're taking 2 months off, and you're playing a tournament and you're taking 2 months off, and you haven't practiced in between, then one tournament you're playing 5 times in between, it really it throws everything out of balance. So being part of a season, you got a set number of games, you got a set number of tournaments, you can budget your money a little bit better, as opposed to just kind of picking and choosing other tournaments. Aside from the first and the second event, where the dates run a little bit close, and that's just because I don't want to get into a situation to where we're playing in the snow for the first event, which in Ohio anything's possible. But you know, between the first and the second event, the dates run, you know, closer than what I would like them. But for the third and the fourth event, there's a lot of time in between to go do whatever you gotta do as far as the practice end and the scrimmage end. And as a paintball player myself, I would highly encourage that everybody at least try and get one scrimmage or one practice in anywhere that you can possibly, just as a group, before you go play that next event. I think that that would benefit everybody. So anyway, that's why we're doing a season. That's why we're doing season entries, and that's why we're going to have it to where there's a cash payout at the end. I know that sometimes that's a new thought for and a little new way of doing things for a lot of you, but you know, you're not used to hearing that kind of amount of money up front. But I think that for the teams that do commit to it and do it, I think you're going to find that it's a worthwhile investment, and I think that you're going to get a lot more out of it than just knowing that you have all your entry fees already taken care of for the season before you even get to the first event. So that's why we're doing it. And I guess here for the fourth video, I think I covered a lot of the 5-man stuff. Again, there's questions. If you have any questions, you can email me through thedimensionpaintball.com. There's a link on the website. You can just contact me through there by email. Paintball Nation, there's a thread in the Ohio Regional Forum. It's under Dimension. I think it's Seeds 3-man and 5-man series. You can get a hold of me through that. Or you can even call me at the field. It's 330-787-2544. I can be contacted pretty much any time of the day through that. So if you have any more questions in regards to the 5-man, please get a hold of me. Ask around. I'm going to be around. I still play paintball, so I'm always out at different paintball fields whenever I'm not running my own. So any questions, just let me know. So on to the fourth video, 3-man series. Stay tuned.